Hey guys, welcome. Good morning. I'm trying to cut down on the glare on the cards. I can't even read the cards. Let's see how we're doing here. Using iScore. And I'm trying to set this up so you can see it better. Don't know. Oh, all right. I think it's coming in a little bit better. A little bit of glare. I don't know why. There you go. Trying to do away with that. You can see the cards using Strat-O-Matic. Not the basic, I guess the advanced. Definitely not the super advanced. Um, and I'm replaying the 1992 Yankees versus the Detroit Tigers. This is game 3 of the season, and the Yankees are 1-1 right now. On the mound for the Tigers is Eric King, had 14 starts at a 5.22 ERA. He's going up against Melito Perez, who was 13-16 with a 2.87 ERA, and we're rolling. I think I have it set up enough so you can see what's going on here. So it felt like doing this to showcase Strat-O-Matic and particularly the iScore system, though. And I'll show you how to use that as I go. So let's start rolling here. It's pretty simple. It keeps track of everything, gives you a box score, keeps your stats. So it's real simple to use. Now I've been using paper and pencil for like a month now, I think, playing History Maker baseball. But I got really tired of doing that. So this is much simple. It's everything's, in one spot for you. So that's a 6. That's going to be off the pitcher. Mickey Tettleton. No, wait a second. I didn't switch the pitchers. So I didn't switch the teams, rather. It's Mel Hall batting for the Yankees. Mel Hall, Mickey Tettleton's behind the plate. It's Travis Fryman at third base, Alan Trammell at shortstop, Lou Whitaker at second, and Cecil Fielder at first. And left, it's Gladden, Milt Kyler in center field, and Mark Carrion in right. It's Mel Hall batting, and if he's watching this, he's watching it from prison because that's where he is right now. So it's going to be a 6. Mel Hall's a lefty, so we're going to look on the blue side. It's going to be a 6-7, and that's going to be line base hit to center field for Mel Hall. He's on at first with a single. Danny Tartabull next. Danny Tartabull, good power. From what I remember, hit 25 home runs. Not too shabby, and 400 at bats. All right, it's a 3-11, so this is off Tartabull's car. Eric King throws from the right side, so we're going on the red side for Tartabull. Say 3-11, that's a base on balls. So Yankees get their first 2 runners on base. Now, the great thing about Strat-O-Matic is that it's most of the results are off the cards. That I love about Strat-O-Matic. First and second, nobody out. It's going to be 2-10. 2-10, it's going to be a foul out. On the first base side, under it is Fielder, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So Matt Noakes, lefty batter, fouls out. And it's Jesse Barfield now. Jesse Barfield had only 137 at bats, hit 2 home runs. Terrible on base percentage, terrible slugging percentage, at 137. So here goes. And that's a 4-11. So that's going to be off the pitcher's card. A 4-11 is a ground ball hit at the shortstop. Trammell flips to Whitaker. Throw to first, not in time. Jesse Barfield hustling down the line. It's going to be a fielder's choice. So you hit in play, you click fielder's choice, you go 6-4, and it asks you what happens to the runner who was at second. Well, he advances, but the runner that was at first is going to be out on a force out. The first runner on first holds. So doing a little bit of iScore here for you. Charlie Hayes is next. Charlie Hayes, third baseman for the Yankees. And that's going to be off Hayes' card, a 2-11. A 2-11 is going to be a ballpark half diamond, if you will. And I got the ballpark. I printed it out. Here it is. You can get these online. So a right-hander in Yankee Stadium is, for a single, is 1-4. And we rolled a 1. So that's a line drive base hit. And what does that mean? That 211, it gives me, Mel Hall, who's at third base, is going to score. So it's an RBI single for Hayes, driving in Mel Hall, and stopping at second. Unless I want him to go to third, I'll have that choice. Jesse Barfield, a 1-14. Let's see the right fielder. Let's see his arm out in right field. It's Mark Carrion. He has a +1 arm. +1 arm, so that would make it a 15. So we're gonna go and we're gonna roll for that to get, and we roll a 18. So he's thrown out 9-2 at third base. So what happened to the runner on first base? He is thrown out at third. So I wrote third out, and then he's tagged out and asked me how did it happen. 9-5. Great throw by Mark Carrion, right on the money to get Barfield hustling from trying to get to third on that single. And that's going to retire the side. But the Yanks do pick up a run on 2 hits and a walk. They lead it by a score of 1-0. Go to the bottom of the first. Melito Perez, 2.87 ERA for the Yanks. So he should be able to hold his own. And here's the pitch from Perez. 5. It's off Perez's card to Tettleton, who's a switch hitter, so he'll be batting lefty. So it's going to be a 5-7. 5-7 is a split. 1-15 is a single, and it's a 7, so that's line base hit to right. Jesse Barfield plays it on a hop. And Mickey Tettleton, who's not a speed merchant at all, is on at first. So he's going to be going station to station. Tony Phillips now. Switch hitting Tony Phillips. Man, did he play with a lot of teams. Batting from the left side. So off the pitcher's card, Melito Perez, it's a 4-5 and strikeout. So curveball, so I click out and I go to strikeout, and curveball gets Phillips. Mark Carrion, who made that great throw from right field to get Barfield at third base, is up. He's a right-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Perez. It's a 3. A 3 is off the batter's card. 6. That's a ground ball. But there's 2 outs already, so that's going to be a flip. Velarde flips to Pat Kelly at second for out number 3, 6-4. And he's forced out, and that's, who's that? I made a mistake. Hold on a second. So you just cancel out. This is actually going to be a double play then. I made a mistake. There's only 1 out. For some reason, I looked at the inning. It tells you here, so that's a great way to keep track of what's going on. It gives you the outs, the inning, the score. It tells you who's up. So you always exactly know. There's no danger of screwing up. It's easy to correct. You just hit cancel and you correct whatever you want to do. So let's go back to what was happening. It's Carrion swings and hits a sharp ground ball to Randy Velarde, who flips to Kelly, throw to first in time. Double play. And that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. And let's double check that. That was a 6. Yep, 6-4-3. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was back to the pitcher. So 1-6-3 double play. Oops. Yeah, these numbers are pretty small, to be honest with you. So if you're not careful, you can look at 6, but kind of read 7. It was 7 was, and I rolled a 6. 7 is a shortstop double play. So it's going to be a ground out to the pitcher. It goes to shortstop, back to first. So it's a 1-6-3. And this is how it happens. It's going to say what happened to the runner that was on first base. So you put he's out. How is he out on a double play? Done. Yanks are coming to bat. It's going to be Pat Kelly leading off. 1-0 here in the top of the third, using advanced version of Strat-O-Matic. Pat Kelly, the batter. The roll here. So it's a 1-7 off the batter's card. A 1-7 is a ground ball to short. Trammell fires the first, gets Kelly one away. Alan Trammell and Sweet Lou Whitaker played together for 20 years, I believe. Here's the pitch to Randy Velarde, the leadoff batter for the Yankees. He's a right-handed batter, so that's going to be off the pitcher's card. A 6-5, that's a strikeout. Velarde down looking. Was not happy with that call. And Don Mattingly here with 2 outs. If you want to look and see what Mattingly's batting, you just click on his name. So this is the 3rd game of the season. Let's see. Info. Oh, stats. You click stats, and he's 1 for 10 so far in the season, batting 100. Don Mattingly. Dan Mattingly didn't have a very good season in '92. He hit only 287 with 14 home runs. All right, 2 outs. Pitch from Eric King, and that's a 2-12. A 2-12 is lined and caught by the second baseman, Lou Whitaker, and that retires the side. Line drive 4, and that's all. So iScore is doing everything for me, keeping track of everything. Shows me a field, shows me the player standing out there inside a stadium. It's got a little stadium. It's got the lineups on the left. It's got the scoreboard on top. And it writes out what happened, gives me the script version. Travis Fryman, he's a right-handed batter. He steps to the plate for the Detroit Tigers in 1992. And that's going to be a 6. That's off Perez. A 6-8, and that's a ball. That's ball 4. So in play, ball 4, and Travis Fryman is on at first. Next batter's Milt Kyler. He's the 9th place batter, center fielder. That's going to be a 6-7. Milt Kyler is a switch hitter, so that's on the left side. A 6-7 is ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Not good for the Yankees. And it's going to be Dan Gladden. Now, he's a B bunter. And we're in the bottom of the 3rd. I'm not big on bunting. I do realize this is 1992. And they did a lot more bunting. So we're going to roll to bunt these 2 guys over. Set up a higher percentage scoring opportunity. Let's see what happens. So, all right. So we're going to use this bunting section here. He's a B bunter, and we rolled a 10. It says batter is safe. Runner is thrown out by pitcher. Other runners advance 1 base. Lead runner is thrown out by pitcher. So it's going to be a wheel play, 1-6, back to Perez. And they're going to throw out Fryman at 3rd, 1-5. So that's out. It's going to be I guess a ground out. Well, a fielder's choice, right? More of a fielder's choice. So we're going to do in play, fielder's choice to be 1-5. So what happened to the runner that was on second base? He's out on a force out. Everybody else just moves up. So advanced by batter and advanced by batter. All right, so Gladden's on at first. Kyler's on at second, 1 out. So that was an epic fail for Dan Gladden. And it's Sweet Lou Whitaker. He's a left-handed batter facing Melito Perez. It's 1-0 Yankees, but the Tigers are threatening. So that's going to be a 1-3, and that's a foul ball behind the plate. Matt Noakes throws his mask away. He's under it, makes the catch. So it's pop-up to the catcher. In foul territory, everybody holds up. That's 2 outs. Alan Trammell, right-handed batter. That's a 1-3, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. So Trammell gets plunked to load the bases in play, hit by pitch. Bases are loaded, and you can see the runners there. It's Trammell at first, Gladden at second, Kyler at third, Cecil Fielder, the batter. Now, Fielder, I remember him having a lot of power, and he hit 35 home runs in '92. Holy smokes, batted .244. Strong man. Cecil Fielder, bases loaded. Melito Perez looks in for the sign. There's 2 outs. The Yankees are up 1-0 here in the bottom of the third in Detroit. And that's a 3. So that's going to be off Fielder's card. A 3, and Melito Perez is a righty, so it's on the right side. A 3-12, and that's going to be a ballpark single opportunity. Ballpark single opportunity, and for a righty, it's 1-4, and we rolled I believe it's a 10. So yeah, a righty is a 1-4 single. Everything else is a line out to short. So that's lined and caught by a leaping Velarde at shortstop. So line drive, 6, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the fourth. Now, there's 2 parts of iScore. The first part is inputting the data, which I have already. You just have to do that once, pretty much, and then you just manipulate. You just add a guy, and I may show you how to do that a little bit later. Let's get going here. Roberto Kelly, he's a center fielder for the Yankees. Third place batter. He's facing Eric King. That's a 2-9. So a 2-9 is going to be a strikeout. So Roberto Kelly goes down looking. Next is Mel Hall. And that's a 1-10. 1-10. It's a ground ball to the first baseman, Cecil Fielder. Fields it himself. That's one thing that I don't think Strat does enough of. They should just add 3-1 every so often. I sometimes do that with the faster players. Danny Tartabull, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. The pitch from Eric King, 2-6. 2-6 is a base on balls. It's the second time that Tartabull walks. So it's in play. You click on walk. He's on at first. Matt Noakes is the batter. Matt Noakes hit a home run in the first game of the season. He had 22 home runs in 1992. Holy smokes, and 384 at bats. Terrible batting average at .224, but he's a catcher, right? Not a very good catcher since he's a catcher 4 with a +3 arm. Nightmare. 2-7. So it's going to be 2-7. That's a ground ball. Weak ground ball to Lou Whitaker. Flips to Fielder, and that retires the side. 4-3. So out 4-3. And the Tigers come up here at the bottom of the fourth. Melito Perez steps on the mound. He looks in for the sign. It's Mickey Telton at the plate. He's 1-for-1 with a single. It tells you that right there. And here's the pitch. It's 6. Telton bats from the left side. 6-4, and that's a strikeout. Telton strikes out swinging. High fastball. You got Tettleton fishing. Tony Phillips, the batter. He's 0-for-1. He's struck out. And that's going to be a 5. That's off Perez. And he's batting lefty. He's a switch hitter. So that's a 5-10. And that's going to be a ground ball X to the third baseman. Now, Charlie Hayes is the Yankees' third baseman, and he's qualified as a 2. He's a 2. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using the basic fielding chart just to simplify that, because I don't keep these stats anyway. So he's a 2 at third base. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. And we rolled a 16. So a 2-16 is an out. So Charlie Hayes makes the play. And I just memorize what the guys are. It's a ground out to third, fires to first, and gets Phillips 2 away now. I know that my shortstop is a 4. Those are the guys that come out the most. Pat Kelly's a 3. Hayes is a 2. Mattingly's a 1. Noakes is terrible. He's a 4. And then it's only once in a while that you get the so I learned the teams pretty quickly. Mark Carrion, nobody on. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. It's 1-0 Yankees. It's a 3-7 off Carrion's card. A 7 is a ground ball to the shortstop. Velarde scoops it, throws on the run, and gets Mark Carrion easily. Oh, I did 5. So I did 5 to 3. I made a mistake, so I'm just going to hit undo. Right, undo, out, ground out, 6 to 3. Done. I love that. So, I mean, this is definitely the way to go. This is from a guy who just spent a month writing it up. I still write up stuff. I still paper and pencil. I love that. Nostalgia, right? Old school. I love that. So every time I'll do that for fun. But this is ultimately more efficient. Come on. Can't even compare. This has got the bells and whistles going here. And it's a free app. Come on. Who's not using this? Easy to use. I'll be honest with you. It's not a really huge learning curve. It's a little bit, clunky at the beginning, especially with certain plays. But once you get the hang of it, easy peasy. Just got to give it a chance. Eric King on the mound against Jesse Barfield. 2-2-6. Jesse Barfield's a righty, so that's off Barfield's card. 2-6 is a strikeout. So Barfield strikes out swinging. Charlie Hayes, who's 1 for 1 with a single. And that's a 1-7. A 1-7 is a line drive base hit to left. Gladden is there, throws it in. Hayes has 2 hits on the day. He's 2 for 2, and it's Pat Kelly now with 1 out. Here's the pitch to Kelly. That's a 5. Kelly's a right-handed batter, so it's the pitcher's card, a 5-11. It's a fly ball left field X. Dan Gladden is a 2 in left field. He's a 2, so we look here at the 2. We rolled a 6. 2-6. He makes the play. So 4-runner holes. It's a fly ball. Gladden runs down and left. So that's 2 outs now, and it's Randy Velarde. And you can always check your card and the name at the plate, so you're not messing up. So it's 3. It's off Velarde's card. A 3 snake eyes, and that's going to be ball 4. So runners on first and second with 2 outs for Don Mattingly. And Don Mattingly, he's 1 for 11 on the season, so he's due for a hit. All right, so we're going to shake it up here. We want Don Mattingly to get a hit, one of my favorite players. Donnie Baseball. So that's going to be off King's card, which is good because he's not very good. Not a very good pitch. He had like a 5 ERA. Just a 4, column 4, 10, and that's going to be a potential single, a ballpark single. And for lefties, I think it's 1-2. What do I do with it? I have to laminate this. It's 1-10 for lefties. Let's see what happens. We roll an 8, so that's line drive base hit for Mattingly. And let's see what's going to happen with Charlie Hayes, who's at second. There's 2 outs. There's 2 outs, and that was what? A 4-11. No, a 4-10. So it becomes a single. Let me see what this thing, what it means here. I can't see squat, so hold on a second. All right, so it's ballpark effects, singles. Ignore all readings that have to the left. Instead, read the results found underneath the symbol ballpark effects card to obtain results. Home, stadium, and batting, lefty, righty, hitter. Mostly you will want to select split card to determine the final outcome. So I guess it's a single, and there it is. It's a single 1 star, so runners advance 1 base. All right, so that tells me, I'm sorry. There you go. I don't play this very often, so I don't play Strat a lot simply because it doesn't have all the cards, and I can't get all the cards, right? Let's see if I did everything right here. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. So let's cancel that out. Don Mattingly gets a single. All right. It's a single. Everybody advances. End of story. There it goes. It's nice and simple. All right. So bases are loaded. 2 outs. Eric King on the mound for the Tigers. And we're in Detroit. It's 1-0 Yankees. Roberto Kelly, the batter. So the Yanks have a chance to break it open right here. If Roberto Kelly can manage a clutch 2-out hit. Let's see what happens. Does he have any horseshoes? He does have any horseshoes, so that single turns into an out. So that's one horseshoe there. That's it, one horseshoe. So let's see. Oh, almost lost all my dice on the floor. Okay, here goes. Roberto Kelly, bases loaded. Pitch from Eric King. That's a 2, so it's off Kelly's card against a righty, a 2-7, and that's going to be hard hit, but right at Travis Fryman. He throws across the diamond, gets Kelly, and that retires the side. Yanks had a huge opportunity and did not capitalize. So it's the bottom of the 5th, 1-0. Still a very, very close game. And it won't take much for the Tigers to tie this and even take the lead. All right, here's the pitch to Travis Fryman. 1-8. 1-8 is line base hit to right field. Excuse me. Fryman goes the opposite way, singles to right. He holds on first. Kyler's going to bunt. He's an A bunter this time. We roll the 3. A bunter, batter is thrown out by pitcher. Runners advance. So successful bunt by Milt Kyler. Out, sack bunt, 1, undo, 1-4. There you go. And batter advances. Or runner advances, excuse me. So I'm showing you guys to use iScore this morning. Going to the gym in a little while, so I just wanted to get a game in before I go. And then after that, hey there, Red Sox fan, how are you, brother? Always good to see you. So before I go to the gym at 7 a.m., I want to get a game in. Then I come home, have some breakfast, and play a couple more games. Now I got a big box, which I'm going to have unpacking, a short unpacking video. I got 6 or 7 seasons of Strat-O-Matic. All right. And I'm going to unpack them and see the condition of the seasons. I don't want all these seasons. They're from 210 to 216, I believe. Something to that effect. So it's Dan Gladden at the plate. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's 1-0 Yankees. Melito Perez, I don't know if you remember him, on the mound for the Yankees. Okay, hold on a second. I got 1 out. All right. I got 1 out. Travis Fryman out at second. Kyler bunted. Travis Fryman singled. All right, there he goes. So this allows me to look back and know exactly what happened. It reads it here. Travis Fryman hits a single, and then Kyler lays down a sacrifice bunt. And now up is Dan Gladden. Keeps track of everything for me. So even if I get distracted, it's all here for me. 4, then it makes a box score for me, keeps the stats, does it all. I love it. 4, so that's going to be off Melito Perez card. A 4-6, and that's a strikeout. So Perez, huge strikeout of Dan Gladden. Gladden, 250 hitter, 400 bats. He was pretty much a starter. And it's going to be Sweet Lou Whitaker. Now, I was looking at the Tigers batting. Nobody really had an outstanding year. He batted 278 with 19 home runs. Pretty good for a second baseman in 1992. Not too shabby. 19 home runs, so he's swinging for the fences. Lou Whitaker, that's probably hurt his average. 2 outs. Tying run at second base. It's a 2. That's going to be off Whitaker's card. And a 4. Oh, boy. And that's a deep drive to right field, and that's a second decker. It's out of here. Lou Whitaker gives the Tigers a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. He connects, drives into the second level in right field, and that's in play, home run, and so Lou Whitaker, and we're going to double check that. Column 2, we rolled a 4, and that's gone. That's out of here. 2-1 Tigers, and it's Alan Trammell now with 2 outs. That's a 2, a 2-10, and that's a foul ball to the left side. Charlie Hayes in foul territory makes the catch near the seats, and that's going to retire the side. So the Tigers on the two-run homer by Sweet Lou Whitaker take the lead. It's Mel Hall leading it off. He's a lefty batter against Eric King. And that's going to be a 6-9. A 6-9 is a ground ball shortstop X. Now Trammell, I don't know Trammell, so I'll look at him very quickly, and then I'll probably remember after that. Trammell is a 2 shortstop, and Whitaker is a 3 second baseman. I thought they were a little bit better than that. A 2 shortstop. And we rolled a 14. So what happens here? A 2-14 is an out. And I believe it's an out across the dime. So Trammell throws out Mel Hall for the first out of the inning, 6-3. Danny Tartable, the batter, good power, and he's a right-handed batter, 6'4", and that's a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Kyler, and Kyler is a 3 center fielder. We rolled a 13, 3-13, and that's an out, so Kyler runs it down in center. That's 2 outs. And Matt Oaks, good power, catcher for the Yankees, 3-6. It's off an Oaks' card. A 3-6 is a split home run. So this game is going to be, it's an 18. It's 1-18 for the home run, 19-20 for the flyout. But it's got a diamond. So I'm going to have to bypass the card. And this may end up hurting the Yankees because I rolled an 18. And that's going to be a flyout, my friend. That's the wrong sheet. Here it is. It's the National League sheet. Ballpark, you can just print these out. For a lefty, in the home run, it's 1-14. So that's too bad because that's going to be a flyout to right field. Caught at the warning track up against the wall. Mark Carrion leaps and brings it back. Holy smokes. That was a tie ball game for the Yankees. So it's a fly ball right field. And it's Cecil Fielder, excuse me. Cecil Fielder, Detroit first baseman, in the bottom of the 6th. It's 5, so that's going to be off Melito. 5-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. Next is Mickey Tettleton. He's batting from the left side. And I'm going to turn him to a switch hitter. I'll teach you how to do that. You click on the guy's name. Click on his name again. Actually, no. Then there's a little arrow. Click on the arrow. And then it tells you both. Bats both. Boom. Done. Save. So now it should switch him. You should see now he's on the left side, batting lefty against the righty pitcher. So that's a 4, and it's a 4, and it's a potential. He's batting lefty though. So that's a 4-4, and that's a potential single. We rolled an 11. He's batting lefty, and it's 1-10, I believe. Ballpark is 1-10, and it is. So we rolled an 11. So that's going to be caught by the second baseman, Pat Kelly, line drive, but hit it on the screws, but right at Kelly. So that's out number 2. And the pitch from Perez is to Tony Phillips, batting also from the left side. So we're going to turn him into a switch hitter. Just go and you click both, and now he's a switch hitter. Done. So from now on, whenever I play this team again, those guys will be switch hitters. That's going to be a 4-4. Didn't we just roll that? I swear to God, we just rolled that. 4-4, and that's going to be a potential single from a lefty, and it is. Line drive, base hit to center field for Tony Phillips. 2-out single for Phillips on the ballpark chart. It's 1-10 for lefties in Yankee Stadium. And Mark Carrion and that's going to be a 6 now, so that's off of Perez. Carrion is a righty, a 6-8, and that's going to be ball 4. So he held up, ball 4. So we're going to get some action in the Yankee bullpen now. It's going to be John Habian. And can't see who else is out there. Let's take a quick peek. Greg Cadaret, lefty for the Yankees. Travis Fryman, 2 outs, runners on first and second. What happened to Melito? What did I do with Melito Perez? What did I do with Melito Perez just now? I flipped him over. Okay, flipped him over. There he is. All right, Mark Carrion. Actually, no, it's he just walked. It's Travis Fryman. First and second, 2 outs. It's a 2-1 Detroit lead. And it's a 6, again, off Melito. 6-11. That's a fly ball. Shallow center. Running in is Roberto Kelly. Oh, makes the catch. Nice catch by Kelly. Thought it was going to drop in there. All right, so that retires the side. It's a 2-1 ball game. Jesse Barfield is going to be leading it off. Now, Jesse Barfield started playing with the Yankees that season, but after about a month, it was evident that he was not the same player that he had been. How you doing, guys? Yeah, Lou, sweet Lou, touches them all. Jesse Barfield here in the top of the 7th for the 1992 New York Yankees using Strat-O-Matic. I've had this. 1992, holds a special place in my heart. I met my wife in 1992, and actually by 1993, I had her rolling dice with me. Funny story, we went up to our ranch in the north of Spain, and I invited her there. And I took a Napa game with me. I do not know why. It was like, okay, what are we going to do up in the ranch? There's nothing much out there but hanging out and so forth. And we started rolling some dice, and that was fun. That was a fun experience. So 3-7. So that's going to be off Barfield's card. A 3-7 ground ball to short. Trammell fires the first. Gets Barfield's. Hustling down that line. Got that speed. Not much else. Lost most of his tools. Charlie Hayes with 1 out. Charlie Hayes is 2 for 2. And that's a 2. That's off Hayes' card. A 2-5. And that's going to be a strikeout. So curveball gets Hayes for out number 2. Pat Kelly. A 6-12. 6-12 is a split 111 single, and we rolled a 17. That's line out to short. Trammell right there. Oh, not a ground out. So you cancel out. Let's try it again. Out, line out, 6, done. And that retires the side. Now, the nice thing about 92 is you can leave pitchers in there a little bit longer. It's not like you hit the 6th inning and that's it. Now you got to start bringing in relievers. That happens in the newer game. And, man, that really bogs down the playing. Milt Kyler against Melito Perez here in the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-1 Detroit. Big hit for Detroit was the 2-run homer by Sweet Lou Whitaker, who did hit 19 home runs in 1992. So that's a 5. That's off Perez. Milt Kyler's a switch hitter. Let's make him a switch hitter. Click on his name. Click on the arrow. And you just put both, bats both, save again, and it's done. Milt Kyler batting from the left side now against Perez. So that's a 5-7. That's a split single, 1-15, but we rolled a 17. That's line and caught by Pat Kelly. A lot of lineouts in this game. A lot of lineouts. Dan Gladden, 4. So Gladden is a righty, so that's off Perez. 4-8, and that's a strikeout. Perez bearing down. Lou Whitaker, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1. Detroit. 1-6. So that's off Whitaker's card. A 1-6 is going to be a ball 4. Base on balls. A 2-out walk to Lou Whitaker. Alan Trammell, the batter now. Now Trammell, let's look at how he did in 1992. Only had a 275 average with 1 home run. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. I thought Trammell had way more power than that. Wait a second. This is wrong. Oh, wait. What? It has him. He only had 102 at bats in 1992. I guess he was injured for the whole season. That's unusual that they would have a card for him with 100 at bats. I wonder who the other short. Let me see. Who was the other shortstop for the? I didn't know that Trammell was out in 1992. So who's the shortstop that plays every day for? Let's see. Who's the shortstop? Pettis. Livingston is a third baseman. Skeeter Barnes and Bergman. Skeeter Barnes doesn't play short. Chad Kreuter is a catcher. Oh, Terrell. Walt Terrell. Oh, he's a pitcher. That's weird. Hold on a second here. Kelly. That's a pitcher. Do I have another shortstop on this team? Oh, Tony Phillips. He plays every position. And Tony Phillips had 330 at bats, but at every position. That's weird. Who else on this team would play shortstop? Carrion Fryman. Travis Fryman, did he play shortstop? Yeah, he did. He did play shortstop, and he had 659 at bats, and that's actually his primary position. Okay, so we see what happens. Wow. Okay, so you learn. See, you learn baseball. So Trammell was hurt in '92, and then it was Travis Fryman that filled in for him. Now Alan Trammell is up against Melito Perez. Sweetly Whitaker is on at first. He managed a 2-out walk here in the bottom of the seventh. It's 2-1 Detroit. And Alan Trammell, I don't know. No, we did not roll. I'm going to roll now. I don't think I rolled. All right, 2-12, and that's going to be line and caught by Charlie Hayes at third. Another line drive, caught, and I think they overdo it with that play. And that's all. That retires the side. It's Randy Velarde going to lead it off for the Yankees in Detroit. Top of the eighth here. We got both starting pitchers are still going. I'm shameless. I have to admit, I'm shameless when it comes to letting these guys go a little bit longer. Particularly in the earlier seasons, in the 80s, the 70s, well, the 70s, 60s, and 70s, I don't even have to mention that. Everybody, completes the game pretty much. I mean, relatively speaking. But by the 80s and the 90s, I'll push them an extra inning just because it makes my game happier and flow better. I definitely can't do that at post the year 2000. Can't do it. It's on my conscience. You know what I'm saying? I have to pull the guy after 7. Nowadays, I have to pull him after 6. It's terrible. But, because then you got to bring in 3 pitchers, and it slows down. It bogs down the game tremendously. I like Al, Red Sox fan, because he's playing. I know he plays cards and dice, but he's also doing a couple of replays using the computer, which does it all for you. So you don't have to worry about it. Now, I admit it's a little bit easier on this, but it's still a few steps, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So Eric King is pitching to Randy Velarde. There's some action in the Tiger bullpen. Now, I usually go to the actual lineup for that day, and I kind of get an idea of who they had on their roster, and I try to bring those guys in if possible. I try to know who the closer is. So let me bring up the 1992 Yankees schedule. 1992 Yankees schedule, and I'll look at the particular box score for this game. I'm going to use Baseball Almanac. I really like how they do stuff. I like the font that they use. Okay, so at Tigers, 1992, this game was April 10th, probably freezing. And who pitched? It was Ritz, Lancaster, Dougherty, and Munoz. So I got a lot of guys to pick from. So there's a couple of guys warming up in the bullpen. And it's Randy Velarde facing Eric King here in the top of the 8th inning. It's a 2-1 Detroit lead. And that's going to be a 6. A 6-4 is a fly ball X, center field X. And I don't remember what we said about Kyler, but once I look at it a few times, then I'll remember it. This is the first game with this team. Kyler's a 3. We rolled a 12. So a 3-12, and that is going to be a ball that drops in front of Kyler, and it goes off his glove, rolls away, and hustling to second base is Randy Velarde. So it's a single and an error on Milt Kyler, allowing Velarde to get the second. So you hit in play, you do single, right? And then it asks you, what happened to the batter, Randy Velarde? Well, he got to second, right? He got to second on an error, and the error is on center field. Done. You see, so then it'll read, Randy Velarde hits a medium line drive for a single. Randy Velarde advances to second on an error by center fielder Milt Kyler. See how that works? So there's nobody out. Don Mattingly, the batter, and Eric King, and we're gonna call it. That's it for Eric King. And I'm gonna show you how to do the relief pitcher now. So let's look at our pitcher. See who we got here. 1992, man. I'm reliving the past. That's what I love about playing these games. So let's see, who did I say we had that pitched today? Was Ritz, Lancaster, Dougherty, and Munoz. Ritz, Munoz, Lancaster, Dougherty, and a guy named Ritz. I don't think I have Ritz. Okay, they don't offer you every player. That's my number one complaint why I don't play this game, which is a fine game, a fun game. I like this game. I just don't play it a lot because I can't get the players I need, and they refuse to do that. So I'm going to have to, call them out on it. So they don't care about us. What can I say? I can't care all that much about them, and I refuse to buy stuff from their company until I'll get stuff. I just bought 6 sets for $10 each. Okay, I'll buy stuff, but I'm not going to give them any money. I'm going to buy secondhand. And I give away stuff all the time on my station. I've given away a couple of sets of Strat-O-Matic. Let's see. Mike Munoz. So we need a lefty here to face a lefty. So we got one lefty. Mike Munoz is a lefty. He's going to face Don Mattingly. So here's how you do it. Mike Munoz. So we're going to pull Eric King. I'm going to bring in Mike Munoz. Now let's learn a little bit about him. He was 1-2, a 3 ERA, 2 saves, 48 innings pitched. So we're going to click on Eric King. Takes us to the roster. Now, I didn't write him in. I don't write every single player in. I don't, like, if they have 25 players or whatever number of cards, I don't write them all in. I do that as I go. So I'll just write in or type in all the starting players. And as I proceed through the game, if I need a sub, then so I add sub. That's how I do it. It saved me tons of time. To set up a game, it doesn't take more than 4 minutes the first time. After that, it's only a minute to set up a game. So Munoz throws lefty. He's a lefty. And I'm going to put his name in, Mike Munoz. Save. All right, that's it. So he's in there now. So I highlight him. I already clicked on the pitcher, so that's highlighted. Then I added the player. All right. And Munoz is part of the team now. So, and he's highlighted, so that means he's going to take the pitcher spot. Save. There he is, Mike Munoz. All right, how did I do that? Again, I just click on the pitcher when I want to change the pitcher. Let's say I wanted to bring in Eric King. I obviously can't because he was the starter, but I just highlight him. I click save, and Eric King, I actually may be able to do it. Yeah, King is back in, you see? So I'm going to actually undo that. And Mike Munoz is back in there. All right? So there's multiple ways of doing this, but it's very simple. It's a small learning curve. Just give it a chance, and you'll really like it. So Mike Munoz is going to face uh, Don Mattingly in a 2-1 game. The Tigers are up by 1. Here's the pitch. It's a 1, so it's off Mattingly, but it's against the lefty. A 1-8, and that's going to be pulled down the line into the right field corner, and that's going to roll to the wall. Randy Velarde around third. He's going to tie up the game. That's in play, and Don Mattingly is in there with an RBI double, which ties the game. So he comes up big. He comes up clutch. Don Mattingly with his second hit of the season, and I think they're both doubles. He had 40 doubles in 1992. It's Roberto Kelly now. And you know what? We're going to bring in a new pitcher and probably leave this pitcher in there. Dougherty's going to come in. So now that's how you do it. Look, Mike Munoz adds sub because, again, Dougherty's not in there, but he'll be in there for the rest of the season now. John Dougherty, and he's a righty, and that's in there already. Save. Highlight him. Oh, no, not add sub. I screwed up. Highlight him and just save, and now he's pitching. Boom. Pretty quick once they're all in there. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. So it's Roberto Kelly. He's a righty, and then Mel Hall is another lefty. Now, I could have left who was it? Munoz in there since, and I should have maybe done that. Now, I didn't know. I didn't really look properly. So you know what? I'm going to bypass all that. I'm going to undo what I just did and leave Munoz in there. Okay. I want to be fair to Detroit. And so let's see. What do I do here? It's tied up. If I walk Kelly, I can get a double play. There's nobody out. Trying to help Detroit here. It's a tie game, 2-2. Hey, how you doing, guys? Who's there? Mike? Yep. Nostalgia. That's what it's all about, Al, right? It's a big part of what we do, man. Remembering, going back and reliving the time. Funny thing, when I start playing these games, I start thinking, what was I doing in 1992? And I remember, where I lived. I remember where I worked. I remember, the things that were important to me, that sort of thing. I kind of go. I remember my vacations, where I went on vacation. I remember, what I did on New Year's and Thanksgiving. So I relive the whole past through these games. It's pretty surreal that happens to me. I can go back in the 70s even and think about what I was doing when I played 1977, 1976, and so on, and I also think about what was happening in history, what was happening in politics, economics, what the trends and fads were at the time. Roberto Kelly. And we're still trying to figure out what to do with Roberto Kelly. Do we walk him, set up a double play? We're ready. It's tied up. I mean, the go-ahead run is at second. So you know what? We're going to, and Roberto Kelly's a pretty decent player. He batted .272 with 10 home runs. Nah, you know what? Let me just pitch to him. If he was a 300 hitter, I'd probably walk him. So that's 5. So that's 5 off of Munoz, a 5-6, and that's going to be ball 4. All right. So we pitched to him very carefully. He walks. It's not the end of the world. Nobody's out. First and second. Mel Hall. Mel Hall's a D bunter. We're not bunting with him. Bats from the left side. 4-8. 4-8, and that's going to be a ground ball, second base, B. I think B is the one that's a fielder's choice. So that's going to be 4-6 fielder's choice. So how do you play a fielder's choice? You do in play. A little bit different. Fielder's choice, 4-6. Then it's going to ask you what happened to the guy who was at second. Well, he advances to third. What happens to the guy that was at first? He's out on a force out. And then what happens to the guy at first? He holds up. And that's how you work this. So now you got first and third. So Hall, and let me double check I was right about that. Because again, like I said, I don't play this game very much. Ground ball, B. If no runners forced, runners home. If one or more runners are forced, runner on first is out. Runner on first is out. Batter is safe. Okay, batter is safe. Right, okay. I did it right. All right, Danny Tartable, a righty. Now this is where we're going to bring in, but then we have Matt Noakes, a lefty again. That's our situation. So we're going to have to bring the infield in. Infield in. And we are going to pitch to Tartable with the infield in. Mike Munoz, a lefty, we're holding on to pitch to Matt Noakes, who's a lefty. So here goes. And that's a 6. So that's going to be off of Munoz's card. A 6-3. Holy smokes. That's a diamond shot. Home run. So we're going to see what happens here. This could be the big difference in the game, folks. So Tartable is a right-hander. So it's 1-9. I haven't looked at what I rolled yet. It's a 1-9, or it's a fly ball to left. And that I rolled a 4, so that's a deep drive. And Gladden back to the wall. He looks up. That's out of here. 3-run home run. Danny Tartable puts the Yanks up 5-2 here in the top of the 8th inning. And that's going to be all for Mike Munoz. We pushed him a little bit too far, and it's John Dougherty who's going to come in now. John Dougherty is going to come in, and he's in there to face the lefty, Matt Noakes. At this point, we don't even care about matchups. Game is already pretty much lost. Matt Noakes bats left. And save. So now he's on the left side. John Dougherty, righty, scores 5-2. This has been a 4-run Yankee 8th, and there's one out. Matt Noakes is 0 for 3 on the day. He's flied out, grounded out, and flied out again. It tells you all that here. And I score 6-3. So that's going to be off Dougherty's blue side. 6-3 is a ground ball to Cecil Fielder. Takes it himself, and that's 2 outs now. Jesse Barfield is 0 for 3. He's hit into a force out, struck out, and grounded out. And that's going to be a 3-7, and that's going to be hard hit ball up the middle. And Trammell is there, throws on the run, and gets Barfield 6-3. So Yankees with a big inning score 4 runs, and primarily thanks to Danny Tartable, who had a 3-run home run to left field, and it's going to be Cecil Fielder. Melito Perez is going to go for the complete game here. He's only allowed 4 hits, and we can look at his stats easily by clicking on his name. And his stats, basically pitching stats for today. Okay. Pitching stats don't come up until I save the game at the end. That's one thing that it keeps the batting stats, but it doesn't keep the pitching stats. I don't know why it doesn't do it. It'll keep them at the end, but it won't keep them during the game. All right. So that's one kind of, drawback here. So you can't really look at his stats, but I know he's allowed 4 hits. I just want to see how many walks he's allowed. I could count him up by pulling up I could pull up the scorecard. So I can see that here. He had walked. Let's see how many he walks. 1 there. Hit 1 batter. 2 there. So far 2. He's walked 2. Walked 3, and I think that's walked 4. Yeah, he walked 4. So you can also have a scorecard, and it can show you exactly what happened throughout the game. All right, so Melito Perez walked 4, gave up 4 hits. He's still in the game. It's the bottom of the 8th, so we're still going here. Let's see what happens. Cecil Fielder, 4-5, and that's going to be a strikeout. Fielder strikes out. Mickey Telton batting as a lefty. It's a 2-11. That's a ground ball, second base. Pat Kelly throws out Telton. 2 away. Tony Phillips 5-2 Yanks here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 1-8. 1-8 is a ground ball. Oh, wait a second. Against right-handed pitcher. Yeah, ground ball to second. Again, Kelly flips to the first baseman, Mattingly, and that retires the side. So Melito Perez with an easy peasy inning. Now, good thing about playing American League, you don't have to do all the pitching changes in terms of the pinch hitting and all that. So it simplifies the game. I mean, it's not as fun. I don't think. I really like National League where you have to really plan out what you're going to do and which pitch hitters you're going to use and so on and so forth. There's a lot more strategy. Charlie Hayes, Yankee third baseman. He's got 2 hits. He's 2 for 3 on the day. 2-8. So 2-8 is going to be a strikeout. So Hayes strikes out swinging. High cheese gets Hayes. Pat Kelly 0 for 3. 3-8. That's a strikeout. Back-to-back Hayes for John Dougherty. And now it's Randy Velarde, leadoff batter. 6. 6-6. Oh, that's split die double single. We rolled a 16, so that's a base hit cut off quickly by Kyler and keeps Velarde at first. That's a single for Randy Velarde. He's on at first. Don Mattingly came up big, tied the game with a double in the 4-run 8th inning. So he's 2 for 4 on the day. Wow, I didn't notice he had 2 hits today. Holy smokes. All right, that's a 6. So that's going to be off Dougherty against a lefty. A 6-8. That's going to be a ground ball, first base, fielder. Flips to the pitcher covering. I do that myself. And that retires the side. All right, 9th inning. So there's 2 players I don't have for the Yankees in the and I don't want to pay the $5 to have the card program where you can pull up cards. There's 2 pitchers the Yankees don't have here. One is Farr, I believe. I don't know that I have Farr. And the other one is, what was his name? Oh, man, the guy who had trouble with drugs, with cocaine. What was his name? Anybody remember his name? In the Yankees. Yeah, so there's these 2 players that did their I don't understand. I don't have Farr, and I don't have this other guy. Hey, Time Machine's there. What's up, bro? So that's the problem. So now I don't know that I got it. I'm sorry that I'm doing this. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to organize here. The mat that I have is kind of sliding off the table. So I don't know that I have a closer. Who's my closer? I mean, how can Strat do this? I don't have a closer here. So Deion James, Bob Wickman. Wickman had no saves. Kurt Young. Oh, there it is. Steve Farr. All right, he is there because he's the closer. Thank God. 30 saves. There you go. All right, good. Not going to use him just yet. I'm going to see if Perez can close this out on his own. It's the bottom of the 9th. Melito Perez. Now, Perez, I mean, he was a guy who went deep in innings. He had 247 innings pitched, so it's not an anomaly. It would not be, something that's out of the norm if he were to complete a game. So here's the pitch to Mark Carrion. That's a 3, so that's off Carrion, a 3-5, and that's a strikeout. So Perez, 2 outs away from a complete game, 5-2 victory over the Detroit Tigers. Travis Fryman is 1 for 2. He walked, singled, and flied out. That's a 1-7. A 1-7 is lined and caught by Charlie Hayes. Line drive, Charlie Hayes, 2 out, and I'll double check that because I went pretty quick. A 1-7 line out. Last out. Let's see, they're down to their last out. It's Milt Kyler. Milt Kyler batted .241 with 3 home runs, 291 at bats. Now let's see if they had a pinch hitter in this game. Detroit had, you know what? They pinch hit Bergman. But I don't know that I have Bergman. Let's check and see if I do have Bergman. I'll pinch hit. I'll show you how to pull a pinch hitter through using iScore. I don't know that I have Bergman. I may have him. Let's see. Dave Bergman. I do have him. He's a lefty, so he's going to pinch hit. So obviously I did not. He hasn't started a game. This is the first game I'm playing with Detroit. He hasn't started, so I know he's not going to be in there. So this is how you do a pinch hitter, right? This is how you do a pinch hitter. You click on the batter, the little batter there, and it brings you to the roster. Add sub, and Dave Bergman, 1N. He's that's lefty. Save. All right, he's in there now at the bottom. I highlight him. It says include defensive sub. Well, I doubt this game is going to continue, but I'm going to say yes just in case it does continue, and I'm going to save. So now he should be batting. There he is, Dave Bergman batting from the left side. That's that easy. Now he'll always be in there for the rest of the year. I'll never have to input him again. All right? So that's basically how it works. All right, so there's 2 outs. Melito Perez is 1 out away from a complete game victory over Detroit. The Yankees lead it 5-2 here in the bottom of the 9th. And here's the pitch to Dave Bergman, the pinch hitter. That's a 3, so that's going to be off Bergman's card against a right-handed batter, a 3, so it's on the right side. A 3-9er, ground ball second base. Kelly up with it, throws to Mattingly, and that's the ball game, folks. The Yankees win it by a score of 5-2. So you close out, says game over, does it all for you. Now, this is how you do the pitching, the final for the pitching and all that. You got to do that yourself. Exit. I wish it did it itself. I wish it calculated who got the save, who got the hold, all that stuff. It does not do that. So you kind of have to do that. That's the little, again, a small drawback. But again, it's not costing you anything. So, you can't be too demanding. You can't look a gift horse in the mouth. Beggars can't be choosers, that sort of thing. So the win is going to go to Perez. Very nice. The loss is going to go to, I can't remember now. I can't remember if it was Eric King or Mike Munoz. And so I'm gonna have to find out. So the way I'm gonna find out is I'm gonna look at the Yankee scorebook. Let's find that, the scorebook for the Yankees. It's gonna tell me. All right, so Yankees had that big 8th inning. They had a big 8th inning, and it started with Randy Velarde, who led it off. Okay, so that tied the game. Then it was Munoz who came in, allowed a Mattingly double, which tied the game. A fielder, so then it was a walk to Kelly. Then it was a fielder's choice, and then it was a 3-run homer. So the winning runs were allowed by Munoz. I clarified that. So the loser is going to be Mike Munoz. And that's all she wrote. So I've got that. That's complete. And I guess you can say Munoz blew the save, right? Yeah, I guess blown save Munoz as well. He blew the save. If you want to do that, I don't care too much for that. So now what do I do here to get the box score? It's simple, right? To get the box score, you are going to email yourself. You put in the email right up here. I got mine, combatpainter@gmail. I'm going to email there. It's going to be send, and it's going to send me all the data from the game. Now, if you want to look at the stats, there's a couple of different ways to look at the stats. Team batting, you can look at how the team did. Right here gives you the box score, basically let me see. Team batting for the Yankees. It was 2 for 4 for Velarde, 2 for 5 for Mattingly, 0 for 3 for Kelly, 1 for 4 for Hall, 1 for 2 for Tartable, 0 for 4 for Noakes, 0 for 4 for Barfield, 2 for 4 for Hayes, 0 for 4 for Kelly. And the pitching, it says team pitching, right, for the Yankees. Perez is 1-0, and that'll keep track of his record as you put it in. He went 9 innings, allowed 2 runs, struck out 7, 4 hits, 5 walks, 1 home run. So it keeps track of everything for you. And now I'm going to set up another game, and I'll even show you how to do that. I want to play another game. Detroit's roster's in there. New York obviously will always be in there because that's the team I'm playing most. So I'm going to This is how quickly you can set up a game. So it asked me who the visitor is. I know it's the Yankees. They're playing a 3-game set at Detroit. The home team is Detroit. Done. Now I click done, or I press done. Now I go and I click the arrow. It asks me score game. I click on that. And now I'm set up here. It's going to show me. Then I'm going to go. See, the way I do this now, I look at the next game, the actual lineups, and I make adjustments. Let me show you how I do that. All right. So this game is played on the 11th against the Tigers. I'm using, on my left here, I'm using Baseball Almanac. All right. So Gladden, Whitaker, Trammell, Fielder, Tettleton, Kruder, and Carrion, Livingston. So they make some changes. Livingston is going to play in this game, and Kruder is going to play in this game. Livingston and Kruder are going to be here. So Livingston right there, he's the lefty, and Chad Kruder is a switch hitter. The pitcher is going to be Leary, Tim Leary. Oh, no, that's for the Yankees. Gullickson. Now, I don't know if I have Gullickson. Let's see. Oh, there he is, Bill Gullickson. So I do have Gullickson. All right, so far so good. But you never know what's going to happen here. So I'm going to pull this guy. Who else am I going to pull? I'm going to pull Fryman gets pulled. And the catcher in the last game was whoever it was. Let's see, who was the catcher in the last game? He's going to get pulled as well. Or the catcher. Tettleton was the catcher. He's going to become the DH in this game. So Tony Phillips is going to get pulled. He's not going to play. He was a DH in the last game. All right. So do I have to add anybody? Yeah, I have to add Kruder and Livingston. So add player. I'm going to add create new player. Chad Kruder. He's a catcher. Starter. No, not a starter. I can make him a starter, but he's not a starter right now. He bats both. Done. All right. So Chad Kruder's there. So I'm going to bring him up. I'm going to make Tettleton the DH. So I'm going to dump Phillips. He's out batting and out as a position player. So he's done. All you got to do is – so Chad Kruder's coming up now. He's going to be the new catcher. He's a catcher. And Tettleton's going to be the DH. We're both going to be batting, yes. All right, who else is going? Travis Fryman is going. So no batting. Oh, I clicked on the wrong guy. And no third base, so he's out. My pitcher's going to change. I have that. All right, so I have lineup 1 to 8. I'm missing Livingston because I haven't created him yet. So let me go back, create Livingston. Showing you guys how to use iScore. So creating Livingston, what did I click? Let me go back. I clicked it, create new player. It's the top. Create new player. Scott Livingston. And Scott Livingston is going to play third base. He is a lefty batter. He's not a starter. I will make him a starter. So now he should be at the bottom. There he is. So I'm going to bring him up. Add him. Oh, there he is. Third base. He is batting. Now, where is he batting? Let's see. I'm using the actual lineup. So it was Kyler. It was Livingston, then Kyler. So it was Carrion, Livingston, and Kyler. So I'm going to move him down 1. And it was Kruder. It was Tettleton, Trammell, Fielder, Tettleton, Kruder. There it is. Done. All right. So it's saved. Now I got to make my pitcher. I didn't make my pitcher yet. Now remember, you got to. This is how I do. I do it one at a time. In other words, every game I play, if they adjust the lineup or they add a guy, then I have to do that. So the first time I input the rosters, I only input the starting team, and I go. And then I kind of do it as I go. Because sometimes there's no changes or there's one change. So why am I going to spend putting 25 guys in there? I'll do that as I go. It's just more convenient for me. You may disagree and want to put I know everybody's different. So I know guys may say, well, I'd rather have them all in there so then I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's fine too. Do whatever you want. Bill Gullickson, I got to add him. Right? Pitcher. He's a pitcher. He's a righty, so I just leave it the way it is. He's a starter. I can say yes or no. It doesn't matter because I can always change it. All right, so Gullickson should be at the bottom, and he is. So I'm going to bring him up. Oop. He's a pitcher. Is he batting? No, he's not batting. And that's it. So that's done. Now my Yankee team. Let's see what happens with the Yankees here. Leary. I don't know that I have Leary on this team. He may have actually. You see, what happens is he may be on another team. If the Yankees had him half the season, then they traded him, I can go to that other team and find him. So there's always ways. Yeah, I don't have Tim Leary here. So let's find out more about Tim Leary, see what he did and where he went that year. And I'm searching for that. So 1992. Okay. He went to the Mariners. You see that? He went to the Mariners. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to go to the Mariners. This is my 1992 set that I got pretty cheap from secondhand from somebody who just didn't want their 92 set anymore. I've done that. Let's see. 1992, man. I was a young man in 1992. Holy smokes. What happened to the time? Bring that back. 1992. What am I looking for? Seattle Mariners. So I should find Tim Leary. And he's going to stay with the Yanks as I play until he gets traded. And since I use actual lineups, once I don't see him starting anymore, then I'll know, okay, he's gone. And so I'm looking for Tim Leary here in the Tino Martinez, Edgar Martinez. Wow. Blast from the past. Dave Valle, Russ Swan. So he should be in here somewhere. There he is, Tim Leary. Boom. So I got my starter. Found him in Seattle. And he'll stay with me as I play this. All right. So Tim Leary. And you know what I'm going to do with the pitchers since I grab them every inning? I don't want to get them all messed up. And since I use the Yankees every game, I also protect the Yankees with these sleeves. I use sleeves with Tim Leary. We'll have a sleeve. Melito Perez will join the dugout. Dougherty, who's a relief pitcher, I'm not going to worry about. Gullickson, who will be starting, he may go 9 innings, so I'll be handling him a lot. So I'm going to put him in a sleeve as well, just to protect him. I don't put everybody in a sleeve, but the Yankees I will begin to put in a sleeve simply because I use them all the time. Okay, so now I have to set up the Yankee team, the Yankee lineup. Let's see. It may not be a lot. Now I want to get like 1992 cards. They're really cheap because I want to remember what these guys look like. I want to see the uniforms. I want to see the baseball cards so I can pull them out. I want to get the whole season of baseball cards and then be able to say, okay, Don Gullickson, and that just brings back the memories and just gives me that extra little sense of I know what's going on and color and character. So it's James is leading off in this game. Everything remains the same. The only difference is that James is going to lead off and Velarde is going to go to the 7th spot. Okay, so Deion James, I think he was with Atlanta, but now the Yanks pick him up in 1992. So I'm going to create Deion James, create a player. Deion James, I know he's a lefty. I remember him. And I believe he's playing left field. Am I right? No, he's playing right field. Left fielder is Hall. Okay. So James is basically replacing Barfield in right field. Barfield is a mess, not hitting. So plus there's a righty on the mound. So the Yankee skipper, I can't remember who it was in '92. I'll find out though. Who was the Yankee skipper in '92? I can't remember. Was it the Baltimore? What's his name? The Baltimore coach manager. Anyway, all right. So it's not Scott Sanderson. He's out. The pitcher is going to be Tim Leary. I have to add him as well. So let's set this up here real quick. Let's find Deion James going to come in. Whoop. Put him lead off. There, he's in right. So he's in right field. I'm going to move Barfield out. Barfield is at the end of his career. He's not going to do anything much after this season. Velarde is going to go to the 7th spot. Right before Hayes and Kelly. Noakes is still my catcher. And that's it pretty much. The only thing I have to do is add Tim Leary. So that was not much to do there. Create a new player. Tim Leary. He is a righty. Now Leary, let's see how he did that year. He was 5.36 ERA, 8-10. Holy smokes. All right, so not very good. Starter, yes. Pitcher, righty, save. Tim Leary, we're going to bring him up. He's batting, no. So we don't want him to bat. So we click on batting. We say no. We turn him into a pitcher, yes. And that's it. 9 batters. James leading it off. Mattingly, Kelly, Mel Hall in the cleanup spot. Tartable in the 5th spot. I don't know why they did that. Noakes batting 6th. Batting 7th is Randy Velarde. Batting 8th is Charlie Hayes. And batting 9th is Pat Kelly. I'm headed to the gym right now. It's already 7:20. Holy smokes. But I think I taught people a lot of stuff, a lot of information. So you hit done. So I know both my lineups are done. Allows you to check them now. Make sure everybody's got a position. All right. And I have double check Cruder, and then it's Carry-On, and then it's Livingston. Cruder, Carry-On, and Livingston, and then Kyler. So I got all that right. Gladden is leading off. That's correct. Trammell's batting 3rd. That's it. So now I just press play, and I'm ready to play the next game. How cool is that? It's going to keep track of everything for me. So, guys, this is CP Cards and Dice, and I'm going to sign out for a while. I don't know that I'll do another broadcast, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had an interesting time with the conversation and with the game and with the nostalgia and with the tutorial. I try to do as many things as I possibly can. Now, there's some glare issues. I don't like the way this looks. I don't know why. That's dark. That doesn't work. So there are some glare issues. Hey there, Philip. How are you, brother? Yeah, I did a whole thing on iScore tutorial. Pretty much, I played a game through it, and then I set up a team through it. The only thing I didn't do is set up the rosters. You know, that's the only thing I did not do. But if somebody says, "Hey, can you do one to set up the I actually have one setting up the rosters. It's called CP Cards and Dice iScore before the game, setting or starting a league, something like that. Well, look that up. I think I have. This is my 3rd iScore video, so I'm gonna categorize this as an iScore tutorial video as well somehow. So anyway, all right, guys, take care. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for stopping by, and I will do the same for you. So long now.